Welcome back to 1600 on the labor front. Three of the nation's biggest retailers are banding together to offer a compromise on the Employee Free Choice Act. Starbucks, Costco, and Whole Foods have started what they call the Level Playing Field Committee. Okay. The group has 6 principles they want included in the Employee Free Choice Act, including a secret ballot and date-certain elections. The coalition's proposal can be broken down into 6 parts. So here they are. First, the retailers want to guarantee the right to management and unions to require a secret ballot under the circumstances. Second, union certification and decertification are treated equally. This one essentially gives management the option to initiate a decertification campaign through a secret ballot election. And third, to address labor's concern that business intimidate workers, it would set a fixed period in which an election must be held. That's a key point. Fourth, equal access to employers for campaign purposes. And the fifth one is expedited expedited enforcement and stricter penalties for companies that retaliate against workers before union elections. And number 6 is to preserve private collective bargaining, which means there would not be mandatory arbitration that dictates contract terms. Now, joining us, the man who is pushing all of this on Capitol Hill, this alternative measure, is a guy who I've sparred with a few times, former White House counsel to Bill Clinton, Lanny Davis. Lanny, great to have you with us tonight. Now, Lanny, you're a good Democrat, Lanny. Now, you're not getting too close to labor on this thing. What do you like about this proposal, and how close do you think we are to getting this done?
Well, I call myself a pro-labor liberal Democrat, and there are several very significant advantages in these principles that would help labor get equal access to make their pitch, get a fixed date for elections, which they presently don't have, and get strict and expedited enforcement of penalties. Those are the grievances that they say are the reasons they need card check, which would not guarantee a secret ballot. So what we've done, these 3 progressive companies, is say, look, we want to level the playing field so you don't give up the secret ballot, which is the bedrock of democracy. You don't give up collective bargaining rather than having a federal mediator mandate wages may be too low or mandate working conditions may be bad, but rather you fix the grievances. This is a dysfunctional system, Ed. The NLRB is dysfunctional in enforcing the law. That's what labor says, and that's what the Level Playing Field Committee would try to get Congress to do as an alternative to this very polarized situation we face now on card check.
Lanny, you got some pretty strong Democrats who are against this. You can see the comment here by Senator Tom Harkin, also backed up by George Miller, saying that this proposal is unacceptable. It was written by CEOs for CEOs. It is nothing more than a classic Washington lobbying campaign intended to confuse the issues and disguise the real agenda of maintaining the status quo.
Well, first of all,
it doesn't sound like Democrats are going to go along with this.
First of all, it's pretty disappointing. 2 men that I greatly respect, Tom Harkin, I worked for when he ran for president, fellow liberal Democrat, that attack motives rather than addressing the specific 6 principles and the issues I just raised. When somebody attacks motives rather than deals in substance, that's disappointing, especially for my good friend Tom Harkin. I'd like to have all Democrats and all Republicans, management and labor, address the substance of what we're saying. This is a third way to bring people together to reform the National Labor Relations Act, rather than having labor running over management, management running over labor. Costco, Starbucks, and Whole Foods are looking at a third way to bring people together, and I hope and believe that this is what President Obama would prefer than having this polarized debate that's going on right now.
Well, Howard Schultz of Starbucks, and also James Seingel of Costco, and John Mackey of Whole Foods. Lanny, these folks have not been pro-wage workers in their career. In fact, they have said some pretty tough things about unions. You know, how do you come to terms with these people? How do you vote and support people who have been union busters their entire career?
Well, you just made, if I may respectfully suggest, a merger of 2 different things. One is whether there's a union, and I'm a believer in unions. My father raised me in a household to believe in unions, versus what's good for workers. Whole Foods, Costco, and Starbucks give their workers fully paid health insurance are very well treated, and they're proud of the fact that they would allow and encourage an election, and if their workers choose unions, that's fine. That's what the level playing field proposals are all about. They're not anti-union. They do believe in a secret ballot and in private collective bargaining. That doesn't make them anti-union. It makes them pro-workers.
Lanny, good to see you. Good to have you on the program tonight. We'll do it again. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Ed. Thank you.
You bet.